No one's coming through my door, bro. You mad? We're fighting, bro.
Former police sergeant at the center of a scandal, an investigation finding body cam video of him having in his office.
Imagine a situation where someone who is supposed to enforce the law ends up breaking it in the worst way.
Mira.
That's exactly what happened with some cops who got caught in inappropriate relationships with inmates.
Shocking findings of misconduct rocked the Laverne Police Department. 5 officers and the police chief all fired.
Whether it's a prison warder caught kissing an inmate, an officer getting pregnant by one, or an inmate trading favors for intimacy, these stories are as shocking as they are unsettling. Let's dive into some cases where the line between law and crime got blurry.
A newer Detroit police officer is off the job after it was revealed she had a racy page on the OnlyFans website.
Married police officer fired after having intercourse with 6 different cops. A shocking scandal hit the police department in LNA, Tennessee, after it was revealed that Officer Megan Hall had been involved in inappropriate and immoral encounters with multiple colleagues. Reports suggest that Hall, who is married, had intimate relationships with at least 6 different officers, including some of her supervisors. The alleged affairs involved explicit photos, oral encounters, and even bragging about the size of one partner's genitals. One of the officers reportedly claimed to be in an open marriage, which seemed to be used as an excuse for their actions. However, this justification didn't change the fact that Hall and her colleagues clearly violated police department policies and professional conduct standards. As a result of the scandal, Megan Hall was fired from her position. 2 other officers involved in the scandal, Patrick Magliocco and Larry Holliday, were suspended but managed to keep their jobs. The case sparked widespread outrage on social media, with many arguing that Hall was treated unfairly and subject to double standards compared to her male counterparts. This scandal has raised serious questions about accountability, workplace ethics, and the treatment of employees in similar situations. It's an example of how misconduct can bring severe consequences for those involved, while also shining a light on potential double standards in handling such cases. Before we continue, here is something that needs to be discussed. On May 21, 2019, some police officers tried to take advantage of an inmate in prison, but as they started, one of them noticed a surveillance camera in the room. The officers who were involved in the act were later dismissed, and some of them were suspended. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Fresno County CO caught exchange intimacy for drugs with an inmate. Tina Gonzalez, a former correctional officer at Fresno County Jail, took her misconduct to a shocking level. Gonzalez became involved with an inmate, and it was later discovered that she had not only engaged in a sexual relationship with him, but also smuggled contraband into the facility. What made the case even more bizarre was that Gonzalez cut a hole in her uniform pants to make it easier for the inmate to have intercourse with her whenever he wanted. The investigation revealed even more troubling details. Gonzalez had provided the inmate with drugs and a cell phone, contraband items that posed a serious risk to the safety and security of the jail. As the investigation unfolded, Gonzalez admitted to her actions and acknowledged the severity of her misconduct. She understood that what she had done was wrong and compromised the entire facility. This scandal highlighted how a correctional officer's actions can impact not only their career, but the safety and order within the facility. Gonzalez's actions led to the breakdown of trust and authority in a place that is meant to uphold law and order. Encom prison officers busted for illicit affair. At Encom Correctional Facility in KwaZulu-Natal, 2 female prison officers found themselves in hot water after being caught in inappropriate relationships with an inmate. Their actions raised suspicions when they started spending an unusual amount of time with him, leading to an internal investigation. It didn't take long for officials to uncover the truth. One of the officers had even allowed her office to be used for secret encounters. Some people on social media speculated that she might have done it for money. Whatever the reason, their actions went against all professional standards, and the consequences were severe. Both officers were dismissed from their positions. Allowing an inmate such privileges not only violated workplace ethics, but also shattered the trust placed in them as correctional officers. With this scandal now public, it will likely be difficult for either of them to find work in the prison system again. This incident served as yet another example of how forbidden relationships in correctional facilities can have serious consequences. Prison officer dismissed for having an affair with a cop. A scandal involving a man known as Mr. Big sent shockwaves through both the Department of Correctional Services and the police force. The controversy erupted when a leaked video surfaced, showing Mr. Big in an intimate encounter with a police officer. The footage, which quickly spread among correctional and law enforcement circles, left no doubt about their inappropriate relationship. The scandal couldn't have come at a worse time. The Department of Correctional Services was already under scrutiny for other issues, and this only made things worse. Adding to the embarrassment, the involvement of a police officer raised serious concerns about professionalism and accountability. As expected, the fallout was swift and severe. Mr. Big's actions led to his dismissal from the department, making it clear that such behavior wouldn't be tolerated. The incident became a major talking point, exposing deeper issues within both institutions. This was more than just a personal mistake. It was a public spectacle that highlighted the importance of maintaining ethical standards in law enforcement. Assistant Superintendent caught having an affair. Sunitha Reddy had a respected job in the Anti-Corruption Bureau, where she was trusted to uphold the law and maintain integrity. However, her involvement in an affair with Circle Inspector Mallikarjun Reddy led to a scandal that would change everything for her. The affair came to light when her husband, Surendra Reddy, caught them in a compromising position at an apartment in the KPHB colony. Surendra had long suspected his wife's infidelity, but chose to wait for the right moment to catch her. His goal was to expose the misconduct of these officers, which he believed was important. Once the affair was revealed, Sunitha faced intense scrutiny from both her colleagues and the public. People were shocked by the betrayal, especially since she worked in an organization that was supposed to fight corruption. The scandal not only hurt her reputation, but also raised serious questions about the integrity of the Anti-Corruption Bureau and whether they could be trusted to follow ethical standards. While Sunitha did not face criminal charges or lose her job, her marriage suffered greatly. The affair ultimately led to a divorce. Despite all the damage done, at least Sunitha admitted her wrongdoing, unlike the next officer on our list, who denied everything to the very end. Johnstown CO and inmate get naughty. In Johnstown, Wrexham, a scandal broke involving Aishi Gunn, a prison officer at HMP Berwyn. She was arrested after an illicit relationship with an inmate, Kuram Razak, was discovered. The affair came to light during a routine security check at the prison, which uncovered clear evidence of their inappropriate relationship. Among the evidence were intimate messages and photographs exchanged between Gunn and Razak, leaving no doubt about their misconduct. Faced with overwhelming proof, Gunn admitted to the affair, taking responsibility for her actions. Her confession marked a turning point in the scandal and raised serious concerns about the oversight and management practices at the facility. As a result of her misconduct, Gunn faced severe consequences. She was arrested, charged with misconduct in a public office, and sentenced to 12 months in jail. The case received widespread attention, and her lack of judgment led to her losing both her job and her freedom. It served as a stark reminder of the importance of professionalism and the serious repercussions of crossing ethical boundaries in positions of authority. London prison guard and inmate caught in raunchy embrace. In the heart of London, Wandsworth Prison became the center of a scandal that grabbed public attention. At the center of it all was Linda de Souza Abreu, a female prison officer whose actions would raise serious concerns about professional conduct. Linda's secret relationship with an inmate, Linton Werrick, came to light when a shocking video surfaced. The footage left no doubt about their inappropriate involvement, exposing their affair in a way that couldn't be ignored. But the scandal didn't stop there. What made it even more sensational was Linda's secret online life. She had an OnlyFans account where she knowingly participated in explicit content, all while working as a prison officer. This revelation only fueled the controversy, as people questioned how she managed to balance her job in corrections with her online activities. When prison authorities discovered the truth, they wasted no time taking disciplinary action. Maintaining professionalism and order within the prison was their top priority, and Linda's behavior had clearly crossed the line. The incident not only cost her job, but also raised concerns about ethics and professionalism in the prison system. Corrupt prison officer jailed over relationship with inmate at HMP Berwyn. Jennifer Gavin, a prison officer at HMP Berwyn in Wrexham, North Wales, found herself at the center of a scandal when she was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with inmate Alex Coxon. This situation started when Gavin, who was in a position of authority, began to form a close bond with Coxon. Over time, the bond between them grew and she gave him special treatment. This connection eventually turned into a romantic relationship. The situation came to light when prison authorities received intelligence suggesting that something inappropriate was going on between Gavin and Coxon. This led to an investigation, which uncovered evidence of their relationship. It was discovered that they had been exchanging letters and gifts, and they had even been meeting in secret within the prison. All of this was a clear violation of prison rules and ethics. As a result, Gavin was arrested and charged with misconduct in public office. During the trial, she denied the charges, but the evidence was overwhelming, and she was found guilty. The court also heard that Gavin had worked at the prison for several years and had earned a reputation as a respected and professional officer before this incident. Her career, which had once been built on trust, was now ruined due to her actions. Gavin's case serves as a reminder of the serious consequences that come from crossing professional boundaries. Russian mafia boss caught having an affair with a prison activist. A Russian mafia boss found himself at the center of a shocking scandal when prison authorities discovered his secret affair with a prison human rights activist. What was supposed to be a professional relationship, focused on discussing prison conditions and inmate rights, turned into something far more personal. Prison staff grew suspicious after noticing that the activist's visits often lasted much longer than expected. Determined to uncover the truth, officials discreetly installed hidden cameras to monitor their meetings. The footage confirmed their worst fears. It captured the two engaged in intimate activities, a clear violation of prison regulations. The revelation was particularly scandalous because the activist was expected to uphold ethical standards and advocate for prisoners' rights, not break the rules in such a blatant manner. The incident not only damaged her credibility, but also raised serious concerns about oversight within the prison system. This case, involving a mafia boss and an activist, was shocking enough, but the next scandal featured two law enforcement agents, proving that no profession is immune to controversy. Australian fired for her affair with an inmate. In Sydney's Metropolitan Remand and Reception Centre, a scandal unfolded involving Melissa Godwin, a female prison officer. Her actions, which included engaging in a sexual relationship with a male inmate, led to her downfall and eventual dismissal from the police force. The affair came to light during an internal investigation into suspected contraband smuggling within the facility. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered evidence linking Godwin to an inappropriate relationship with the inmate. The evidence included intimate communications and testimonies from witnesses confirming the affair. The scandal worsened when it was revealed that Godwin had also smuggled contraband into the prison, including tobacco, cigarette lighters, and chewing gum, items strictly prohibited within the facility. With mounting evidence against her, Melissa Godwin was charged with misconduct and other related offenses. She was dismissed from her position as a police officer, marking the end of her career in law enforcement. While Godwin's actions were serious, the next officer on the list took things even further, becoming pregnant and having a baby with an inmate, a scandal that would raise even more questions about professional conduct within the prison system. Inmate trades intimacy for favors with Argentina judge. In Argentina, a scandal involving a judge named Mariel Suarez caught the attention of the entire nation and raised serious questions about the boundaries between personal and professional conduct in the judiciary. The story began innocently enough. Judge Suarez had been visiting an inmate as part of a project she claimed was for a book she was writing. The inmate, known for his notorious reputation, agreed to participate in interviews for the project. However, as the visits continued, rumors started to spread. The frequency and length of their meetings began to raise suspicions among prison staff and colleagues. The situation took a dramatic turn when photographs allegedly surfaced showing the judge and the inmate in compromising positions. This added fuel to the fire and sparked widespread controversy. In response, Judge Suarez denied the allegations, insisting that their meetings were strictly professional and that there was no inappropriate behavior involved. Despite the intense scrutiny, she was able to avoid any criminal charges or jail time. While the judge managed to escape the worst consequences, the incident left a cloud of doubt over her reputation. The case served as a reminder of the delicate line between personal and professional conduct, especially for those in positions of power. The next person on this list, however, wasn't as lucky and ended up facing a 12-month sentence. Northamptonshire Beige, 9-month sentence for affair with inmate. At HMP 5, Wells in Northamptonshire, a scandal involving Ms. Stanton, a prison guard, and Edwin Poole, an inmate, shocked everyone. It all started when prison staff found illicit photos and a love letter in Poole's cell, which led to an investigation. This investigation uncovered a forbidden affair between Stanton and Poole, which was hidden from everyone for some time. What made the situation even worse was that this affair led to a pregnancy and eventually a baby. As the investigation continued, more details of their secret meetings came to light. It was discovered that Stanton had used her position to help arrange these encounters, compromising the safety and security of the facility. During her trial, Stanton was emotional and broke down in tears as the judge sentenced her to 9 months in prison, which was suspended for 18 months. This meant she wouldn't go to jail right away, but if she broke the conditions, she could be sent to prison. Additionally, Stanton was ordered to undergo 20 days of rehabilitation. While Stanton faced serious consequences for her actions, the next officer on this list faced even more severe legal repercussions, showing just how serious breaches of conduct in the prison system can be. Officer and inmate captured kissing at Los Perfontaine. Los Perfontaine Correctional Facility became the center of controversy when a female prison officer was caught on camera kissing an inmate. This serious breach of conduct quickly spread through the prison, causing outrage among staff and management. What started as a scandal soon turned into a major crisis. The inappropriate relationship sparked unrest among inmates, and tensions nearly escalated into riots. As an officer, she was expected to uphold discipline and professionalism, but crossing this boundary damaged the trust and integrity of the institution. As news of the incident spread, the officer faced intense pressure from her colleagues and superiors. The backlash was overwhelming, and she found herself at the center of scrutiny. Sadly, unable to cope with the consequences, she made the heartbreaking decision to take her own life. Her tragic passing left the facility in shock, turning what was already a distressing situation into something far worse. In response, authorities launched an internal investigation to understand the circumstances that led to such a devastating outcome. This incident serves as a somber reminder of the immense pressures faced by correctional officers and the serious consequences of crossing professional boundaries. It also highlights the importance of mental health support for those working in high-stress environments. Modoc County CO arrested for getting down with an inmate. Melanie Alicia Martin was a correctional officer at the Modoc County Sheriff's Office, known for her dedication to her job. However, beneath her professional appearance, she was hiding a secret that would cost her career. Martin's affair with an inmate came to light through a thorough investigation carried out by an external agency. This investigation was important because it ensured the facts were uncovered without any internal bias or influences that might have affected the process. As the investigation progressed, the details of Martin's inappropriate relationship with the inmate started to emerge. She had crossed a line by becoming involved with someone she was supposed to be monitoring and protecting. The scandal led to Martin's arrest, and her career in law enforcement came to a crashing halt. Just like the next correctional officer on the list, who was sentenced to 16 months in jail for a similar offense in the UK, Martin faced serious consequences for her actions. Her case serves as a reminder of the importance of maintaining professional boundaries, especially in positions of authority. Birmingham prison officer caught in rendezvous with an inmate. At HMP Birmingham, a scandal involving prison officer Shania Begum and inmate Joshua Mullings shocked the institution. Begum was responsible for maintaining order and discipline within the prison, but her affair with Mullings showed a serious lapse in judgment. The affair came to light when prison authorities received information suggesting that Begum and Mullings were involved in an inappropriate relationship. An investigation was launched, and it uncovered a series of secret meetings between the officer and the inmate, during which they engaged in misconduct. As the details of the affair were revealed, Begum found herself at the center of a legal storm. She admitted to misconduct in a public office, which is a serious charge that could ruin both her career and personal life. The case went to Birmingham Crown Court, where the full extent of her actions was revealed. Begum was sentenced to 16 months in prison, which reflected the severity of her misconduct. This case highlighted the importance of maintaining professional boundaries in positions of authority, especially within correctional facilities, where trust and integrity are crucial. Memphis officer caught romping an inmate. Akira Jones, a rookie female corrections officer at the men's jail in Memphis, became involved in a scandal that highlighted the difficulties new officers can face. Jones had just started her career in a demanding role that requires high integrity and strict ethical standards. However, her affair with an inmate at the Memphis jail showed a serious lapse in judgment that would cost her both professionally and personally. The incident began in 2020 when a complaint accused Jones of engaging in sexual relations with an inmate at the Maine County Jail, known as 2011 Poplar. The investigation revealed that Jones had repeatedly violated the professional code of conduct by engaging in inappropriate behavior with the inmate. Although the sheriff's office confirmed the arrest, they chose not to disclose the identity of the inmate involved. As the news spread on social media, some people speculated whether Jones had taken the job with the specific intent of beginning an affair with an inmate. While Jones's case was isolated, it highlighted the serious consequences of misconduct in correctional facilities. This scandal was part of a larger pattern of misconduct, as similar incidents had been uncovered in other facilities. UK female officer caught red-handed with an inmate. Emily Watson, a prison officer in the UK, was responsible for maintaining order and discipline within a correctional facility. However, her involvement with inmate John McGee led to a scandal that would ruin her career. The affair was uncovered when Watson was caught performing a sex act on McGee. The discovery was part of a larger investigation into inappropriate conduct between prison staff and inmates, which led to 18 arrests. Watson's actions were seen as a clear breach of professional conduct. As the investigation progressed, Watson found herself at the center of a legal battle. She was charged with misconduct, which ultimately ended her career in corrections. Watson was sentenced to a year in jail, a severe consequence that reflected the seriousness of her actions. Her case highlighted a bigger issue within the facility, as the investigation revealed multiple cases of misconduct. Watson's story serves as a cautionary tale of how giving in to passion can have devastating effects on one's career and life. Visitor gets naughty with inmate in Manhattan. The Manhattan Detention Center found itself at the center of controversy when a visitor was caught on surveillance footage engaging in sexual intercourse with an inmate. The shocking incident not only violated strict jail regulations, but also raised serious concerns about security and oversight. Once officials discovered the footage, an internal investigation was launched to determine how such a blatant rule violation could happen under their watch. It quickly became clear that this wasn't just a one-time mistake, it exposed weaknesses in the facility's visitor policies. In response, jail authorities moved swiftly to tighten the rules. One of the biggest changes was enforcing a strict dress code for visitors, aiming to prevent any future incidents. However, as history has shown, new rules don't always stop determined individuals, as a certain Russian mafia boss would later prove. This scandal served as a wake-up call, highlighting the challenges of maintaining order in a detention center where visitors and inmates will go to great lengths to break the rules. Tennessee officer arrested for having an affair with an inmate. Janelle Sands, a corrections officer in Tennessee, was responsible for overseeing inmates at a special needs facility, a role that demanded professionalism and adherence to strict ethical guidelines. However, her involvement with an inmate led to serious consequences for both her career and the facility's reputation. The affair came to light when concerns about Sands' unusually close and affectionate behavior toward the inmate led to an investigation. As the details of the case unfolded, Sands was held on a $3,500 bond while legal proceedings began. What made this case particularly disturbing was that the inmate lacked the mental capacity to consent to the affair. Even if the inmate were capable of consent, the power imbalance between them would have made the situation an assault case. The incident shocked many and highlighted the importance of maintaining strict boundaries and ethical standards, especially when working with vulnerable populations. Scotland prison warder caught kissing an inmate. At HMP Addywell in West Lothian, Scotland, an incident unfolded that shocked the prison community and beyond. A female prison officer was caught on video sharing a passionate kiss with an inmate named Kevin Hogg. The footage quickly spread online, sparking debate and controversy. In a place where strict rules and professionalism are expected, this moment broke both ethical and professional boundaries. Officers are trusted to maintain discipline, and this kind of relationship is strictly forbidden. As the video circulated, the officer's identity was initially kept secret, but the growing attention from the media and authorities made it impossible to ignore. Under immense pressure, the officer ultimately decided to resign from her position. The scandal didn't just cost her a job, it became a public spectacle. However, she wasn't the only prison staff member to lose their career over such a situation, as more revelations soon followed. The incident served as a reminder of the challenges within correctional facilities and how a single moment can have lasting consequences. Guard helps an inmate with 2 murder charges escape prison. Sarah Pender's story is one of manipulation, seduction, and daring escape that shocked the prison world. Sentenced for a double murder, Sarah didn't wait around quietly in prison. Instead, she hatched a bold and calculated escape plan that relied on her intelligence and her ability to manipulate one of the guards at Rockville Correctional Facility, Officer Scott Spittler. At first, their relationship was innocent, but Sarah quickly turned it into something far more intense. She used her charm and allure to make Spittler feel like the center of her world. Every conversation, every glance was charged with intimacy and manipulation. Spittler, captivated by her, fell deeper into her trap. He didn't just feel like a protector, he felt like someone special in Sarah's world. Sarah had an escape plan, and Spittler became an essential part of it. She seduced him, making promises of rewards both financial and sexual, drawing him further into her scheme. As their secret relationship grew more intense, Sarah played on his desires, weaving a web that would eventually lead to her breaking out. The day of her escape, she slipped out of her prison uniform, revealing civilian clothes underneath, symbolizing her transformation from a prisoner to a master of escape. While Spittler was refueling a transport van at the prison's gas station, Sarah made her move. Within minutes, they were out of the facility, leaving behind a trail of scandal and humiliation. The fallout was immediate. Sarah became one of America's most wanted women, while Spittler's career and reputation were ruined. He was arrested and sentenced to 7 years in prison. This scandal exposed not only the flaws in prison security, but also the power of manipulation and seduction in the most unexpected of places. Sarah's story is a reminder of how the dynamics of power, desire, and manipulation can work even within the strict confines of a prison. But as shocking as Sarah's escape was, the next case takes seduction behind bars to an even more extreme level. Stay tuned for a tale that reveals even darker secrets from the world of women's prisons. Desiree Hancock. Desiree Hancock's time in prison was filled with drama, love affairs, and plenty of conflict. Known for her tomboyish edge, Desiree made a name for herself by engaging in multiple relationships with different women. Her unfaithful nature sparked jealousy and created a charged atmosphere inside the prison, where emotions ran high and drama was always lurking around the corner. Desiree was caught in some pretty intense situations. One time, she was caught with 2 women on the same day, which led to a violent confrontation in the prison yard. The fight was so fierce that all 3 women were sent to solitary confinement. In another instance, Desiree was dating Lisa, a woman with a fiery temper. When Lisa found out about Desiree's involvement with another inmate, Maria, she confronted her in the common room. The confrontation quickly turned physical and had to be broken up by other inmates. Prison life, with its intense emotions, sometimes turned people manipulative, as seen in Desiree's relationship with Rachel. Rachel pretended to be Desiree's friend, but secretly plotted against her out of jealousy. She spread rumors that Desiree was a snitch, which caused Desiree to lose her allies and friends within the prison. This betrayal highlighted the brutal, dog-eat-dog nature of prison life, where trust is scarce and survival means manipulating others. For most women, same-sex relationships in prison are a way to find comfort, but Desiree used them to control and dominate those around her. Her intense and often manipulative nature created an environment of emotional turmoil and sexual tension. Despite her complicated relationships, Desiree also shared a strong, non-romantic friendship with Sarah Pender, another cunning prisoner. Their mutual respect for each other showcased just how intricate the prison social network could be. Desiree's story is one of passion, betrayal, and manipulation, a stark example of the complexities of life behind bars. The case of Latasha Brown. Latasha Brown was arrested for a minor offense, but what happened next turned her life into a nightmare. The very prison guards who were supposed to protect her became her tormentors. Her story is one of exploitation, power, and survival in a broken system that often crushes those within it. Latasha, lonely and vulnerable, caught the attention of a Swedish guard who promised her protection in exchange for sex. But his promises were a trap. He manipulated her, pulling her into a cycle of control and fear. Refusing him wasn't an option. Any confrontation would only lead to worse punishment. To most, prison rape might seem like something distant, seen only on TV. But for Latasha, it became a terrifying reality when one guard assaulted her with a nightstick on June 14, 2005. Latasha and a few brave fellow inmates decided to fight back, even though they knew the odds were against them. They risked everything to expose the abuse. A groundbreaking investigation by The Guardian later revealed the shocking truth. 1/3 of prison guards across several facilities had allegations of sexual abuse against them. The scale of this misconduct remained largely hidden because of the paralyzing fear inmates faced if they spoke out. Latasha's story wasn't isolated. Other women, like Maria Sanchez, also faced sexual abuse by guards. Maria complained about complaint, but nothing changed. The guards held all the power, and the imbalance between them and the inmates made it difficult for anyone to stand up without fear of even more abuse. This story shows how prison systems can create environments where vulnerable people are preyed upon by those in power. It's a heartbreaking reminder of the risks faced by inmates, particularly when there are guards who break laws and betray their role as protectors. These stories show just how far things can go when those who are meant to uphold the law cross the line. From relationships with inmates to major breaches of trust, it's clear that sometimes the rules get ignored. These cases are a reminder of the importance of accountability and how even the people in charge can make huge mistakes. Thanks for checking out these shocking stories. Stay tuned for more, and don't forget to like and share.